And we are already back for our last series of the day. We've got the Mongols facing up against the one, the only Rune Eaters. And man, this one is going to be a doozy. I don't know who's going to be coming up on top in this one. I've been doing some research on the Rune Eaters, Lafell, and some of their players have actually been playing pretty proactively here in Kazakhstan itself. Of course, we know the Mongols because they've showed up at a couple of M series, but at this point, who could tell who's going to be on top?
Well, here's the thing. Zixora back in the wild cards, he was already using Hirara and the like, so it does seem like MongolZ was just a little bit ahead when it comes to the meta. So I'm hoping for them to come into this with a better idea of how the game really should be played. Comparatively, going up against the
Rune Eaters
again. Thank you very much. Rune Eaters, like you said, like some players, sure, maybe we'll know, but no, actually I don't know any of them. So GG, I have no idea, no clue.
This one, I'm telling you, that's why this one is going to be tough. There's a lot of like potential X factors coming up from the Rune Eaters, and I mean, the notable ones are going to be Ulven and as well as King Ver, both of which actually have a Liquipedia history. So they have been competing in smaller events, and honestly, some events with some decent prize money on the line. So it's not like they're completely unknown within their local scene. But we've already started the draft. Let's jump right into it.
Actually, yeah, honestly, Ulven looks very familiar. I feel like he was in either ISF or Asian Games. I think more on ISF, and he actually performed very well. So, okay, now we'll see how this really turns out, because MongolZ already started with an interesting draft here by betting out the Esmeralda alongside the Marcel and Fanny, and Rune Eaters, the Freya, the Harara, as well as the Yi Sun Shin. Quite interesting betting out the Yi Sun Shin, but I can kind of accept it considering that Zixora really showed that off quite a lot during the wildcard. So basically both heroes that Zixora is kind of known for has been banned out. Now Rune Eaters with the Atlas. Is it going to be Valentina? Yes, of course it's going to be Valentina. Is it going to be Barat?
Nah,
is it going to be
Beleric.
Uranus?
Gotta be.
I mean, like,
it's gotta be.
Can't take it, right?
Well, okay, that's true, but I feel like that's like a red 3. That's more of like a red 3 pick at this point, right? Because the normal answers would have been Beleric, and just kind of see where. I think that the hero pool coming in from MongolZ is actually pretty good overall. But you're right; they go straight for the Barats at this stage of the game. Just make sure they have a dedicated EXP laner with the instant response of Melissa on the opposite side.
But I didn't want to be right, Gideon.
Well, that's too bad. You're too correct, sir.
I wanted to take Uranus, because why would you ban the Esmeralda? You know, like I would assume they want to take Uranus because they ban out the Esmeralda. I mean, like, it's not that Barat likes going up against the Esme, but he doesn't have that big of a problem against it.
That's for sure. But I also think that maybe if they opened up with, you know, the Barat's opener, then maybe they could lean into something else at this stage, something a little bit more damage on their side. But again, Freya did get banned out towards the end there, and finally we get the Beleric at the very end. Now start moving into the second half of the bans. Where do you think their minds are going to be at? I mean, you were so right about like both of these picks at this stage. You might as well call the rest, right?
No, I really feel like betting on the junglers would be good here, but considering that they banned the Esme, I wonder if they really would just want to ban out more EXP laners. I feel like at least betting on the Uranus would be good, and then after that you can ban one jungler. The only real question is what other junglers are good to ban, because I feel like for the MongolZ, I feel like they should pick up a Harley. The Harley should be good to deal with the Melissa. All right, so they already banned out the Uranus, and then for Rune Eaters, I feel like they should ban out the Harley, and then maybe either a Claude. Oh no, they have to ban Brody. They have to ban Brody, 100%.
They got to ban Brody.
They have to ban Brody.
I don't know how confident they are in actually picking up the Clint as well, so that might be something else they have to consider if they want to try and get like a consistent gold lane matchup. But then again, there's also still Claude at the end of the day that can kind of run down the entire composition regardless. We're just going to have to wait and see here, because Purifies need to be taken up, especially when you're up against somebody who can not only displace you, but has incredible sense.
All right, so it looks like both teams might have been screaming each other, because the Bowman gets banned out. Still usable, but almost doesn't make sense considering that MongolZ have 3 heroes with a lot of crowd control. I feel like they should be able to deal with the Bowman, but again, maybe they just scream each other so they know something here. They're betting up the Harif. but I really feel like the Mongols, it's either the Brody or the Clint that should be having an amazing time going up against this Melissa. Not great against the Selena, mind you, but you know, cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Most teams have leaned into like playing around winning lane matchups and then using that priority to start affecting the jungle and even the mid lane at times. That's why we're seeing the keto bans here, at least for the Rune Eaters. You know, we want to make sure that the jungle options are going to be limited down to just Harley.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Harley should be pretty good here going up against the Melissa and the likes. I feel like once they see the EXP laner, they can really decide whether they want to go for either a Brody or just go for a Claw, just to be safe, right? In terms of pick for the jungle, I wouldn't be too mad at them getting a tank like an Akai, because it looks like they're pretty good on damage here. Because other damage dealers in the jungle, I'm thinking of Saber, Suyo, Nolan.
You've been really on the Saber train today for some reason. I don't know what has happened to you, what happened in your ranked game. Saber keeps on popping up, and I'm not gonna lie, it does look really convenient to get. But is that something you want to give on over to someone like Valentina? Oh, never mind, Martis. We were so wrong about that. And CC on top of it all. What a comp.
I mean, like, here's the thing with the Bellman being banned, even in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna call this, right? I have no idea what meta they're gonna pick up here. As well as CC, there's really not a lot of tanks here, Gideon, so this Harley should have a pretty good time. So they pick up the Moskov here, which I'm pretty okay with, considering there's a lot of heroes that want to chase this Moskov. Do I want the Martis to be good or not?
I don't know.
Because usually when something is good, that affects our ranking.
It does. But I've been suspecting that Martis has been, like, you know, hovering around the meta, especially since it's one of the few heroes that has natural access to a pretty normal anti-CC. And I think that's going to be how this game needs to be played. Like, they need to make sure that the early game is consistently good for them. Once he gets the executes and takes that snowball and runs away with the lead, it's going to be a lot harder to kind of find these bigger setups. But Martis has to be careful. As soon as his anti-CC is gone, expect an instant response from the opposite end. So get excited for this game. Our last series of the day. I want to see whether or not this is going to be what we're hoping for the Mongols, or are we going to see an up and rising team that might join us during the internationals?
Yeah, but I gotta say, seeing this Martis, that's the OG, I get 2 kills, I win kind of hero. We haven't seen that for a while. And now we're even seeing this Selena making it so that this Martis gets online very, very quickly. I gotta say, that besides, like, Rune Eaters, whatever they're doing here, it makes a lot of sense on paper. I just don't know how it looks like execution wise. Like, CC wins lane against the Barat, Melissa is just good overall, and then the Selena just like hyper farming King Gaverp to get his items. Now Ox taking a bit of damage, but it should be fine.
It should be fine, but for the most part, it's all about getting that priority. And immediately, Little Wanderer is going to get contested over as the teams need to just bail out. I don't see this early game, you know, going in the Mongols' favor just yet. At the same time, we've seen many different opportunities.
Oh, and now Selena as well doing quite a lot of damage. Out still survives though, so able to get out no problem. Can't say the same for Mumu. Mumu taking quite a lot of, you know, damage from Zuki.
It's going to be a tough one.
Am I saying that right? Zuki.
No, look, I'm going to be trying as best as you can to not butcher these names, and I know for a fact that that's not going to happen. But for now, at least when it comes down to the laning phase, things have been like rather okay, right? No early deaths at this point in time. Now Melissa in some trouble.
Well, not much Melissa can do. Zixora gets that kill. Oh no! Riz 4T survives that one. Is Harry gonna try again? Yes, he does. First blood. And now, a bit late, but Tash Tick is there. Observer! Look at the gold lane!
It's fine, it's fine. They don't want to watch a massacre. They don't want to watch a massacre. You know what? Cut back to the massacre.
Well, the turtle has been started up. Ox as well as Mikey tries to do something here. Looks like Mikey should be able to get out of there, no problem. He does have the Martis ult though. This is such a zoomed in perspective. Oh, and Olvin gets a kill onto Zixora. How? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Yep, your guess is as good as mine as well, man. I mean, the chase down is still going to probably happen at this stage of the game, but the score is only 1-2, and yet, oh boy, moments like that always make it scary.
Yep. Although I do have to say I like a good horror movie, so
Do you actually?
should secure that. Yeah, he secured it. All right, good. Well, you know what, Gideon? I'm glad that you're my friend, man.
Hey man, we're gonna make it through this. We're gonna make it through this, right? Every good horror movie always has its traditional tropes, but I think what we need to figure out is who exactly is the killer. Let's turn this into a mystery. They now engage.
Well, Atlas gets one good ult, Ulvin gets ults, and now King Bird gets Makey, double kill. Now, will he get Zixora? Zixora's in the middle of everyone, triple kill for the Mortis, and now gets a Sky Piercer.
It's always like that. Once you get like that kill, it's like, oh, now I have enough money for the Sky Piercer. It's sad, but it's always the truth. But instantaneously, at least based on what we're seeing from the Rune Eaters, they are aggressive, right? Some pretty good fights so far in the early game, going exactly like how we were hoping for it. The Selina's doing some really good work to give that information that they're looking for, but at the end of the day, it's kind of on this Martis to play this near pixel perfect.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're playing aggressive because, you know, that's kind of like what the com is designed to do. The fact that Martis is 3-0-0 and, you know, he was the OG, I get 2 kills, I win. Now they're at a very good spot of the game.
Very good spot.
They just don't screw it up.
Well,
how hard can that be?
Well, I don't know, because Martis only has 2 charges of that anti-CC here, and if Barats just times it well, it can maybe force out 1 or 2. There's also, you know, the Terrifier from Valentina that we have to worry about.
Well, right now it looks like they're able to get the Belleric. Belleric's gonna die there, and King Bird gets another kill. Might be his first stack of the Sky Piercer, because I don't know whether it's delayed or whatever, but now K looks like Tastic tries to get onto him. K still survived. Tastic gets taken down by K. And King Bird secures the turtle. Chat, if I call Tastic something else, I will apologize. All right, these names, it can be translated to something else.
I mean, hey, you know, languages are a complicated thing. I'm sure Chad would understand.
I'm trying not to say R.
Hey,
I'm trying not to say R.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm trying not to say that as well. But at the same time, now I'm down by the bot side instantly with their gank of their own. Looking to try and get this kill, but luckily the Vengeance is still available. They might find another opportunity.
Well, right now, Rapid Riot use, and even using the Atlas ult to bring them in. And then he brings it back out. Makey gets taken down, unstoppable by King Verb, and all the while Ulvin was able to get a kill onto Ox. Right now, the Mongols, they're not in a good spot here. Riz4T tries to get a kill onto K. Tastic is there, secures the kill. Nope, give it over to Martis. What a good tank.
Well, great tank. 10-3 is the current score so far, and the Rune Eaters have really dictated the pace of the early game. If they keep this up, they should be able to net themselves some good tier 1s, and once that mid goes down, they insta-invades. And arguably, I think even right now, with their Selena, they can make these invades actually happen.
Yeah. Looking at the gold difference as well, this is like around 3,000 plus, and now extended even more. They got the top lane. Oh, Gideon, I didn't thought the Mongols would struggle this hard against the Rune Eaters.
I would agree the same, but at the same time, it's Martis plus the Selena plus an Atlas, right? A composition that is designed not only to shut you down and run you down the lane, but better yet, has some great threat just because of the way that they can set.
Damn. This is the kind of drive that you pull when you're tilted in rank.
It's a dog.
And you just well, we'll see, because right now it looks like one member of MongolZ is caught, and that's Mumu. Mumu has to use the Daytona's welcome just to run away, just to live another day. Ox uses the ult, but gets onto 2, but really doesn't matter. And now Mumu has to use the flicker as well. So many things have been used by the Mongols, and nothing has happened just yet. But look at that, Makey gets King Verb. King Verb died. Yes, shut down. Zixora gets that kill. Now the Mongols, they are in a position where they can fight back, but Mumu is incredibly low. Dookie, move forward, get the kill. He does. And now it looks like Tastic has to die, but that's the life of a roamer. But K is there, tries to get onto Oven. Oven right now, no more mana. Looks like he's able to get away. Will they still fight? Oh, they might still be fighting, but I'm gonna call it here.
Yeah, now they're still gonna dance around this for a little bit, but the real question is whether CC can actually pull enough attention, and they might actually here as they jump right in and zone some off.
Zixora was able to get the turtle. For now, looks like everything is doing good, but as you, Gideon, were expecting that there's a lot of crowd control. So, well, Zuki died. Either way, there's a lot of crowd control. So King Verb has to be careful.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so glad you're doing play-by-play right now, because this is difficult. This is particularly difficult for the Mongols to handle with the amount of pressure that they have and the amount of catches. Oh, great trade here so far. It's Melissa just struggling to breathe.
Yep. You know what Selena was trying to do. King Verb, will you try to go for it? Right? Anti-CC gets poop ping. Zixora is there with the deadly magic. Boom, boom, died. That's what happened.
Just another trade after trade after trade. This has to be like one of the higher like kill heavy games, right? It's 19 kills already this early on. We're already seeing plenty of turrets have gone down at this stage of the game. And so far, I mean, it feels like Rune Eaters aren't wasting a moment. Well, there are times they make an overzealous rotation and get caught, but you know, that's to be expected when you're playing against the Mongols, right? They're looking for these smaller mistakes overall when players start to go to that autopilot mode, and when they do, they're there to punish.
Yeah, and I haven't seen this in a while, but hold on, Zixora gets caught. Looks like might get taken down here by Riz4T. Zixora can't do much here, and now the Daytona's welcome is charged. Does not hit onto anyone. Tashtik tries to get away, and now the Melissa is able to deal damage on 3 members of the Mongols. Not enough damage just yet to really threaten them. But now comes King Verb, as well as Ibuki. Mumu gets pulled back. Takes a lot of damage. Gets taken down by King Verb. But now, looks like Makey able to get 2 over the wall. 3 actually over the wall. King Verb able to get away, but Ulvin secures a kill, and now taunted is the Melissa. Still gonna survive. Not a lot of damage dealt onto Melissa, so with that, Rune Eaters are back in control of the game.
Yep. How long is the question, and how long can they maintain this type of pressure? Because we've seen many teams before. Yes, they get an amazing lead, and then all of a sudden, one bad fight, and they're trying to close out the game, and they really start to struggle. At this stage, now that they at least have access to the Lord, I want to see how much damage they can actually apply onto the Mongols, because their composition is not great on the defense.
Well, look at this. King Verb is taking way too much damage here. Not enough healing. And Zixora could actually steal this away. No, King Verb still secures it, but... Oh, never mind. I thought Ox would be able to do something, but it's like, no. Tashtik gets 2 here. Will he use the ult? Mumu gets caught. Mumu gets taken down. Double kill for King Verb. And K as well as Makey. Tries to push Zuki away, but all the while, Ulvin gets a kill onto Zixora. Case is doing his darnest just to carry the Mongols. They're making it a bit hard for him.
I think they're making it more than hard at this stage. After all the battles that have happened so far, at least the Mongols refuse to back down and will take what they can get. The Lord is already on its way from that bottom side. And now that the Rune Eaters have been a little staggered, it's going to be harder to actually get themselves what they were looking for.
Well, you know what? In a 1v2, you're able to kill one of them. That's pretty good coming in from Riz4T. 18 kills to 12 in 10 minutes. Yes, Gideon, I feel like this might be the highest kill count so far in our series. At least the one we've casted.
Yep.
Although I feel like even the ones Wolf and Rimmer casted, I feel like this is the highest one for sure.
It's gotta be. And I think it's only gonna go up from here. Both sides refuse to give up ground. Both sides refuse to like kind of fall back. And I think that as long as they keep on playing this way, it's just going to get worse and worse for the Mongols. But this is highly dependent on whether or not they can actually find the pick that they're looking for. And this Melissa is just such a good secondary win condition when Omarnis needs to fall back. He is looking to get right into the get away from you to buy that little bit of time.
Yep. Right now, the Mongols, honestly, they're struggling just because it seems like they're not entirely in sync of protecting each other, because it looks like they're zoning, right? I feel like Ox is zoning people away. Unfortunately, Mumu has just been zoned out. Oh, hold on. They're able to get Ox. I think Ox is in a position. Oh, hold on. Where did the barrage come from? Now he's able to stun onto 2. K is trying to deal damage onto the Atlas. But look at this Melissa. Melissa's attacking everyone from afar. Mumu might get taken down right now. K goes in. 4 members still alive. Ox able to stun 2, but K gets a kill. And now Riz4T tries to get away, unable to. K on this Moskov is more than a monster. He's monster +1. Oh, never mind. He gets caught. Oh, will he die here? Oh, geez, my bad.
You cursed it at the end there. You cursed it right at the end, and now it's 20-17. But the Mongols is still here on the advantage. They don't crack open mid-tier 2, unfortunately, but they got exactly what they were looking for, right? LaFell, tell us where exactly is how much of a gold lead do they have right now? It's 20-17 at this stage, and I can see that a majority of it is currently on their Moskov, and he's got full items at this stage.
Yeah. Honestly, there's not much of a difference, like 500 gold difference, but I'm proud that I got my first play-by-play caster curse, because all this while it's just like as analyst or color. Either ways, right now in terms of the gold difference, it's quite even, but we can definitely see that it's even because of Moskov. Moskov is carrying more than 1,000 gold ahead compared to his counterpart, but I think in about maybe 3 minutes, it won't matter that much considering that kill will be full items. It's really on Momo as well as Ox. I feel like they just need their front line to be a bit more beefier to be able to deal with this Melissa.
Let's see how this is going to play out, because now this is going to be a really important Lord Dance, and we can see the top side immediately for the Mongols. They're trying to set things up. They want to make sure that everything is in place to try to get a 50-50 fight.
Mickey does have the Ox just used his all, able to get 3, but King Verb still secures the Lord here. Mickey able to pull in 2. Zixora gets taken down by Tashtik, and now K trying to get his team on the board, getting a few kills here. It looks like Team Rune is a bit split right now. Moscow with the trying to get onto Risk 4T. Unfortunately, just not enough damage. Sorry, the screen was pretty pixelated. Not sure what happened there.
Hey, don't worry, it's been like that the entire time for me. But now, 22-19 so far, it's still in pretty good odds. Like, considering everything that has happened in the early game, at least the Mongols were able to kind of turn a lot of these fights around and stagger them, because now they are in the later half of the game. Now, this Valentina does some very relevant damage to the Martis too.
Well, going on here, Hassie. Eternal welcome just to run away. K able to dodge that one out, but gets stunned up. Makey doing his darnest, using the Fatal Links just to help his team out. And now K almost takes down Risk 4T, gets it. Momo secures the kill. Unfortunately, the SOD didn't hit, but now Ox flickers forward, ults onto 2. King Verb tries to get away, still CC immune, but still should die to Zixora. Zixora secures the kill. Now it's just Zuki. Zuki's still there, and Atlas. Tashti's just waiting on the side. Just noticed he was there, not entirely sure what his plan is. Looks like he's trying to flank. I think he still has the Fatal Links. He's gonna get eaten. Push down, Tashtik. Still survives. Zixora tries to get a kill onto Tashtik.
Yeah, they're still trying their best here. They're still trying their best, but they managed to at least get one tank out of the way. They might just lose an inhibitor for this, and they looks like with the next minion wave coming through, especially when they're Lord empowered, it's just hard to stop. So that's a free inhibitor up on top side, as Mongols have been so deep in this fight and so eager to find some way to close out this game early on with a wipeout that now a lot of the basics and fundamentals are slipping through their fingers. Not to mention, at the bare minimum, it's not on the long lane. Yeah, it's not on the long lane.
Yeah. I hope Momo gets a situation where he doesn't have to face Zuki anymore. Looking at the items, he is a pretty poor Barats here, only having 2 completed items, and it looks like he wants to go for a Guardian Helm. Not entirely sure whether that's the correct call or not, considering that the CC is able to deal damage towards your HP. Same with the Demon Thunder Sword. I feel like it would have been better just to complete, I don't know, one magic resist item and then see how.
I'm really challenging myself here. I'm short-sighted, but my glasses are just not working right now. As we see the Rune Eaters again, we're looking for that big turnaround fight, but unfortunately, all their damage dealers keep dying before we actually see the big turnaround here from the Atlas's Fatal Links. And I mean, I gotta give it, the Detonus welcome here. That's just a great ability that has been not only denying but also finding the picks in the first place.
Yeah, for now, it does seem like Risk 4T does have a bit of a problem to deal out free damage. Because when it looks like the items looks pretty standard for now, so nothing wrong with the build. The Mongols now starting up the Lord, able to eat one, gets King Verb gets taken down, gets haunted by everything. He gets first kill, but now K is in a very dangerous spot. But he's only going up against Tashtik. No one else is going on to K. But look at Selena. Ovin gets K. Ovin might get traded here, but he is completely fine with that. Risk 4T is still free. Zixora Gets the deadly magic onto Tashtik, but now Risk Ortiz there. So no longer will Zexora be able to fight this one.
Yeah, but now they're finally back away. A 2-for-3 trade in favor of the Mongols. They are just winning these later fights ever so slightly, and the Ruinators have completely missed their window, but they are trading back and forth constantly. They still have their insurance policy in this Melissa, but every time we get into these fights, and especially since Martis is a very one-dimensional hero, you can either push them forward or use it as an escape tool. And so far, the Mongols have really taken advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, Deadly Magic again onto Tashtik. Roughly about half HP, but again, Tashtik should be fine there. Looks like the Rune Eaters want to try to finish up this Lord. Zexora tries to come in, gets pulled in by the Fatal Links, Immortality used. Risk Ortiz secures the Lord for Rune Eaters, and King Verb kills Zexora. Right now, it does not look good for the Mongols, because as of now, only K has been able to really deal with the Rune Eaters. Everyone else is clearly struggling.
They are trying to breathe. That's all they need to do. But at the very least, they found the pick that they were looking for, and they've got Lord on their side. This is a pretty good scenario for Rune Eaters. The best you could probably get in these types of scenarios, unless something happens right here, right now.
Yep. Right now, looks like Oven still trying to catch someone with the arrows. And King Verb takes way too much damage from Makey as well as K. Right now, the Lord is here up top. And a good Fatal Links catches two. Tashtik tries to pull someone in again. Ox looks like will be the first to get taken down. King Verb takes down Mumu. But now the Lord goes onto the mid, not getting onto the crystal. K is trying his best, but not enough. 31 kills to 25. Rune Eaters takes game one.
Wow, can't believe Rune Eaters, at the very least, when you thought Mongols were about to come back, he still managed to play around their win conditions. And that's exactly what you need.
What's that? I can't see what you're saying, dude.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You can put your glasses back on. The challenge is over. Oh, you can look back at it afterwards. But man, great games here. And Rune Eaters showing what they have. And also showing a pick that we haven't seen in forever. I'm so glad that Martis is back in.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, honestly, like, it's an impressive draft because sure, it has its it has its risk, but everything is pretty sound, right? You use the Selena to make Marcus move faster, and the CC to counter the Barats looks pretty good. Mumu on the Barats could not really do much, but more importantly, Selena isn't just used to speed up the farm. The Selena actually did quite a lot of work. I feel like as much as we're talking about how assassin players really want to show off their fannies, it looks like for the mids, a lot of them want to show off their Selenas.
I mean, it's a great hero to kind of express yourself, right? Especially with such a high skill ceiling to what you can do on the Selena. We're getting a full showcase here today of what Selena can truly do with a partner, without a partner even, and just a clean way to start executing people if you are accurate on your trips as a follow-up combo. Because a lot of this is just kind of anticipating the displacement, not only from the Martis, but on top of that, the Atlas too, and arguably even to get away from me. And yes, it does become a little bit easier to actually hit when you have somebody who has CC, but even when it comes down to curtain calls and people can move together, still the arrows are hitting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like Selena, nothing really much has changed. I believe what changed before was her mana consumption is lowered so that you can spam that, where before this it was such a big problem to have. But after that change, and maybe the mid laners have been retraining her for a few months, and now when everyone has gotten back, Selena is becoming quite the threat. It's not, I think for some teams it is going to be a first pick, but most teams maybe it's not a first pick, but definitely something that you have to really look forward to, where your opponents could possibly just take that, you know?
And that's the thing, right? I really like the meta right now because not only do we have a lot of meta heroes that everybody's kind of like looking to pick up, but those with really, really high ceilings, even in bad matchups, seem to be good if you just have the right skill sets. And I think that this is a pretty good showing of not only like, you know, the strengths and weaknesses, but at the same time, just the raw mechanics that are being displayed here from both sides, honestly. Like, I can't even forget about the Mongols, like how many times Sora was able to find a pick in the middle of that. And not to mention that even Moskov able to win out in these bigger fights. It's just a matter of, can I outplay everybody rather than just one person?
Yeah. But K, man, K on this Moskov is legit beast. So I feel like he just could not get a protection just because the EXP was struggling quite a lot. So I feel like that's just something that they have to look forward to. Or I would say we have to be more careful of. Because again, the Barats is a pretty good hero, but every tank has problems going up against the likes of CC, Yuzong. I would even say Uranus is a tank, but Uranus kind of screws with them as well.
It definitely gets a little dirty, especially when you're dealing with Uranus. But at least, at the very least, these combinations, especially Atlas, right? Being able to find the fatal links onto the correct targets is always great. And that's why I feel that Barat players, there's a lot more to this hero than just, oh, I'm just looking for picks. There's also ways to kind of deny your opponents too. Oh man, I wish you used a little bit of a bigger marker so we can catch that at the very end. But even so, when we look at the final items here, nothing too out of the ordinary. It's just sad that K wasn't able to item swap in time towards the end there, despite having that 16.1k total gold.
Yeah. I gotta say, this game, Rune Eaters has shown a different kind of innovation that I would say inspires more creativity coming in from teams. Because again, who would have thought that Martis would work out? Well, it makes sense considering that we're in a snowballing meta. But hey, look at Rune Eaters. They create a situation where Martis can work. He died 5 times, had 5 assists, but do you really care? No, not really. You got your team to the point where they can perform, and they perform incredibly well. I want to see what else Rune Eaters have in their back pockets besides this Martis. I mean, considering that the Battleman was banned, when they have a lot of crowd control, they must have a pretty nasty Battleman to really have that kind of respect.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know what else is in the Rune Eaters' pockets, and it could be deep for all we know. But at the very least, we know that MongolZ they have a sense. They have a sense about them, and it seems like they have got more information about this team than what we've been, let on with. With that being said, though, that's only our very first game. There's still an entire series to close out here. But first, we're gonna go on a quick break, and when we come back, more Mobile Legends. And we are back. Currently, the Rune Eaters have already set the tone for these series. Currently at match point against MongolZ, an internationally proven team. And the Rune Eaters are showing that the rest of the world just hasn't seen them first, LaFell. This may be a first for us. But if they take this series 2-0, do you think the Rune Eaters can go far?
I really feel like they can, because I feel like part of the advantage, because, okay, their region here, Rune Eaters, playing in, Kazakhstan, Astana area. Honestly, even during the Asian games, even during ISF, they are very impressive, Gideon. Like, I actually feel like they're a region, let's say they have a MPL like league, they can really show up, where they were able to make Martis work. I feel like that might be a pocket pick, but I also feel like they have other things they can show off. For now, the MongolZ, they're banning out Fanny, they're banning out of Marcel. Rune Eaters, they're banning out the Harara. They did ban out the Yushin earlier. I wonder if they want to go for that again. But I feel like as long as you ban Freya, it should be good, because Freya is just a monster no matter what.
Absolutely. I think that Freya, no matter what, has to go, and then they kind of only have like one ban left, kind of work around everything that they're looking to get rid of. And at least now that the Hirara is gone, the real question is whether or not the MongolZ want to kind of let go of the Atlas now that they are currently on blue side. They could look to just ban out Valentina and keep it very, very traditional, but at the same time, that does mean that the first picks here around the mid laners generally is going to get annoyed when you have to deal with Barats on the opposite end.
Yeah. So now I wonder what other bans that the Mongols will do, because do they want to ban out the Selena? Like, do they want to respect it that much? Because it is pretty annoying, right? It is pretty annoying. And then against Selena, it's less about counters and more that you hope the Selena suck.
I mean,
Am I
there's
wrong,
also
though?
there's also just, you know, having insane movement and just dodging it, you know, like sidestepping it like a regular person. But it looks like they're keeping something similar. Like Mongols are getting rid of the Esmeralda, something that they banned out in game number 1. And now Rune Eaters are left with that last question. What is that final ban going to be? Are we going to, you know, disrupt this Valentina plus giant AoE setters like Atlas and Belleric to be left on the table? Or do they just disrupt it by taking at least one or banning out the Valentina straight up?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, they banned out the Atlas. So do they want to first pick a Belleric just to like deny that annoying hero? But they picked up the Paquito. Interesting, only because they didn't pick up the Paquito before. So I wonder what's going to change here. Do they try to get Yusin Blue 3?
They could go for it. I mean, let's not forget about the other scalers, right? There's still we've seen Harley, we've seen Yishin, we've seen Ling to enable a double fighter style composition, which again, it feels like what Mongols wouldn't mind actually playing at this point now that they've got the Paquito on their side. But it's still up for grabs. And Rune Eaters at this point, it makes sense that Barats is going to be part of the lineup. But how else do they want to kind of like throw different questions at the Mongols? How else do they want to try and skew this draft into their favor and influence them, particularly in the gold lane, right?
Yeah. Well, they pick up the Selena early again alongside with the Belleric. So the reason why I bring up the Yusin up is because it is one of Zixora's better heroes, and it was banned out in game number 1. Game number 2 is not banned out. So if they pick it up now, great. If they don't, 100% it will get banned out later unless they show off their jungler here. So yes, they do go for the Yusin. So the real question is, do they go for the EXP now? No, they go for the Eudora. Just to... Honestly, Eudora is a pretty good pick against the Selena. Not great because you don't have mobility to dodge the arrows, but in case someone else gets caught, you can stun her. So
yeah.
it's like a 50-50. Like if you get caught, womp womp, you know, but if someone else get caught, then you can help out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's starting to look like Mongol, well, at least Rune Eaters are looking to set up a pretty similar composition to what they wanted to play in game number 1. Now, this time at least, they get the Melissa in that first phase. The second phase, I think the Martis probably is going to get banned out. The Cho, smartly enough, you know, looking one step ahead here for the side of the Rune Eaters. They immediately get rid of it. I think that they don't even have to worry about the Valentina at this stage of the game anymore, now that Eudora has been locked in. Real question is whether or not they can get like a winning EXP matchup. They can do that in both Barats alongside with something a little safer, and in this case that's going to be Lapu Lapu, which is pretty good at jumping on these like immobile targets like the Eudora and can anti-CC through. And same problem if they get the Martis as well in the jungle.
Looking at MongolZ lineup, I just wonder if they're crazy enough to be like, you know what, never mind. Let's put the Paquito in the EXP and instead have a early game marksman like the Brody, like the, I would say Harif Brody, Bruno. Yeah, Bruno was the one that I was trying to catch. But nah, doesn't feel like the Mongols though. Doesn't really feel that way.
It doesn't, but at the same time, they get rid of the Uranus. So they're trying to sell the idea that this is supposed to be like, you know, Paquito going into the EXP. They're getting rid of the sandbags. And if this is going to be a Barats ban from the Mongols after what Rune Eaters throw out, it would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, they're running out of bans. They're running out of options with things that deal a decent amount of damage in the early stages of the game. And if the Rune Eaters can actually play a little bit cleaner and utilize this Melissa well, they should be able to siege their way all the way to the inhibitor turrets, because if they're getting rid of the setters, yep, they're also getting rid of the Gathon.
Yeah. Honestly, we saw earlier SRG with the Melissa as well as Selena. It is pretty nasty once you get a little bit ahead, just because you get punished for taking care of your turrets. They're banning out the Fovea is pretty good ban as well, but that also sells that this Paquito might go into the EXP. Now the Barats gets picked up, so Paquito doesn't like that. I kind of feel like the Paquito has to go gold lane now.
Yeah, I'm surprised they got rid of the Of the Phobius. I think they can still play around the Phobius. It's not like the worst matchup in the world. I mean, yes, previously it used to deal a lot more damage, but now they've kind of changed it up, and I think this is why they were setting up for the Arlet at the end of the day. Now they've got plenty of counter-engaging. Saber at the end just for you, LaFell. They've been listening to the entire broadcast, haven't they?
Hey, yeah, dude, I called it just too early. All right,
I called it 3 series too early.
I was dreaming about a Saber, so I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Truly manifested.
It's a bit too late.
Truly manifested. I mean, it had to be a completely new day here in Malaysia before we see Saber show up. But at the same time, there's like a lot of nice targets. His Xorah's looking kind of nice. Eudora's also kind of looking nice. But there's also plenty of CC and counter play to the triple sweep. So let's see it here. Rune Eaters, they've already impressed me a lot with the Martis. I want to see whether the Saber is going to find the exact same type of value in the early stages of the game, and whether or not MongolZ can actually survive up until the late where they had the best odds.
Well, we're jumping into the land of dawn here, where we got to see whether the MongolZ can really get back into form with Xorah back on the Eastern Shin. Looking at the emblem setup here, looks like everything is well and dandy. The only thing is, Tashtik looks like he's going for that pull yourself together, so expect a lot of flickers coming in from this Bellerin.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of just hard engagements here, as it should be, especially when you're on that Bellerin. It's nice to see that now we're moving away from the revitalizes and more into big setters, which has always been very fun to kind of watch, especially for the esports scene. Not to mention our viewers out there, they just want to see things explode, right? That's the general idea. We'll see how first Lethal Wanderer is going to be played, because Ulf instantly can break it open. He gets caught by the stun here, but he's got to be careful, right? Because at the end of the day, this glue is a problem.
Yep. Ovid is doing, again, an amazing job on the Selena, single-handedly securing that Lethal Wanderer, and now just completely controlling the map. Yeah, the glue is going to be a problem, but no, that's just it. Glue is going to be a problem. Well, right now it looks like, Ovid gets caught. Oz gets the kill, but mainly from the help of K. I wonder if K got really upset after that Moscow game. He's like, you know what, give me a fighter. give me something that can punch some people.
Oh, man. And he's found it, right? Now with an early assist, he's going to be walking back in the lane with a little bit of extra gold, extra pocket money. But that top side is not having a fun time. And you can see that Mumu is just like, please, 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 dear God, don't zone me out. No, please. And they've already got the shove. He's not going to be able to hit level 4 on time. So they're really...
Oh, looks like Tashtik able to get a kill onto Ox. And as the stun goes through, we went to the EXP. Momo looking pretty low. Zuki wins the lane again. But again, like, that's no surprise though, right? I mean, like, Arlet going up against Barats. I don't see Arlet winning that one.
Oh, yeah.
Unless with Sanford.
Yeah, I mean, you're generally never winning that, but Daytona's weapon connects.
Oh, hits onto Xorah, flickers forward. Tashtik gets both of them, and then both of them gets double kill. Tashtik secures that one, as any good Roman would.
First with the tree, first with the spit, then with the tree. King Verb, okay. Does he have his retribution up? Yeah, okay. He should be able to secure this, no problem. He's got that purple buff. I think
Selena
so
got it.
I mean, it's so worth it. Regardless, even if you're giving it over to Selena, at least she doesn't have to like recall so early just to get her mana, or waste her regenerate just to maintain presence in this lane. But yeah, you're right. She absolutely did get it. And again, look at the punishment specifically on towards Glue, right? I mean, ideally you want to hit, you know, main key in the back, but if you happen to hit Glue, that's more than enough. Just keep chunking them. Look at the damage.
Oh yeah, damage is quite a lot. And now gets stunned up again. Saber even going in with the ult, super unnecessary, but cool points be damned. Kingberg gets another kill.
Yep, it's already looking super, super good. Not to mention that I'm pretty sure he's building a calamity. Okay, the Starlium Scythe first item.
For who, Ovid?
Yeah.
I mean, why not, dude? Why not? At this point, you're like, who needs to stop their regen? Who needs to stop them from getting heals? Look at Paquito. He's going for a Hunter Strike, not a War Axe. We can do that.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing in the gold lane, so technically he still needs to, you know, be some kind of threat. And the Hunter Strike is just a great first item, especially in the early stages. You can definitely, just with that one singular item, you can already win trades and find solo kills onto the Saber, Selena, and even the Melissa in these points. But right now, okay, I mean, he's been held back in lane for a little bit, and these gold crabs have been difficult to actually contest overall because he's getting zoned out. But with minimal, okay, all right. They've thrown a lot of ults here. I think this is a free purple, right? They can get retribution out of Zixora.
Yup, able to get Momo, and then Momo gets caught again, and then chain TC. Oh my god, this is such an annoying comp to deal with. Zixora has nowhere to go. Boom up pretty low. Can you get the kill? Yes, you can. But not before Ulven gets a kill for himself as well. But I feel like Zixora is okay with that, getting the double kill, and then this guy gets.
Dude, Zixora's so low, but he's got the turtle bow, and now they even capitalize on this, managing to get at least one over onto Makey. They're just gonna back away entirely. They're like, this is just not worth it. Unless, hold on.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness, Ulven! You monster, you god! Oh, you died, but who cares?
Oh my,
What the heck? Dude, my neighbors are so upset with me right now.
Understandably so. I cannot believe. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he actually got away with that. I was thinking that, like, hey, Zixora is gonna, like, you know, take his time with this, right? Or at the very least, communicate with everybody so they could all just burst it down at the same time. But it just doesn't matter when Ulven can do motions like that when he's 3-1 and 4 at that point of time. Now 3-2 and 4. He doesn't mind dying for it at any point. How else can the Rune Eaters accelerate this game, honestly?
Guess by not dying, that would actually help quite a bit. But
hey, nobody expects the insurance policy to pay you out straight away. It takes a little bit of time.
Well, King Verb gets a kill, so that's well and dandy. And now this Lina gets stunned, but still able to get away.
Here, let me do the play-by-play of King Verb's
Sure.
finding the solo kill. He dashes, triple sweep, opening swords, and he's dead.
You know what? Accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Super accurate. Yeah, pretty accurate. But hey, you know what? The thing that I always say, if you don't have a sky piercer, you can die. I guess the bad thing is I don't see it in game, but I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on it. And not to mention that at least for King Verb, he's not going for the Sky Pierce. He's not interested. But we get the Starlium side by Ulven at this stage of the game, and building up to a DHS here for the side of Riz. They're getting pretty close to all the things that they absolutely need. But what's crazier is the fact that this Belleric somehow has 3 kills in the side and is still making plays.
Well, he's wanting more kills here, and he will not get. Ulven finally gets that one. And as a roamer, Gideon, it's all part of Dave's job. Now Trashtik just tries to zone them away, but in the back we see King Verb 1v1 against Momo. Momo tries to get away, cannot get away from this Saber. Saber even survived the Eudora ult. Now he's just waiting. He's dead.
Oh, what?
He's dead. You still want to go for that dash? It could have been so cool if you just let him die by the trap.
Oh my goodness. The way, I mean, Rune Eaters, they definitely have synergy there. That is some natural synergy between the mid laner and jungler. King Verb and Ulven using the, oh wait, hold on.
I think this gets done, but he was able to actually get quite a bit there. I mean, he wasted their time. I think that's good enough, because all the while Rune Eaters is able to get the mid as well as the turtle, and now 4 members. Oh no, yup. Hey, good on Zuki. I knew he wasn't gonna die, but yeah. I didn't thought he would just dodge everything.
I mean, he did, but it did cost him pretty much everything. All of his battle spells, you know, his ult as well on top of it all. And MongolZ, they're just so behind. I mean, we look at the Goldie, it's currently 4K at this stage of the game. If it develops to at least a 7K for the Rune Eaters, I think this game is kind of done, right? Majority of their power spikes will be finished, and I think that even for Mumu, unless he's building some kind of like tanky items or at the bare minimum of Queen's Wing, actually, would a Queen's Wings even matter at this point? I mean, if King Verb, he already has the War Axe, so he's max stacked on it. I don't think it would matter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like even if Rune,
thank God.
Yeah, I feel like even if Rune Eaters get 7K ahead, I feel like they have the Malaysian showmanship, you know? It's like, we're winning too much, you know, let's throw just a little bit, give them a fighting chance, and then once they get comfortable, then we destroy them, you know?
Yeah,
just a bit of that Malaysian finesse.
Yeah, you know, equality at its finest. Really, it really is.
Equality.
I mean, that's true. You know, you got to make sure if you're earning more, you got to pay your taxes so it evens it out at the end of the day so that everybody can have a good time. But the truth is, I don't know if the Rune Eaters would like to be that generous. And I mean, considering that the previous game dragged out so long because the Mongols were able to find a turnover fight, I think they just got to keep it clean. They've already got the snowball at this stage. The question is, how do they get converted into structures? I think that's the biggest problem we've seen here so far for the Rune Eaters. As much as they're leading...
Able to get one, and looks like he's able to get the Arlet, and now Tastic even flickers forward when he doesn't need to. Gets multiple members, but now look at Olvin. Olvin is somewhere now. And K gets away from Zuki as well as Riz4T.
Oh man, things could not get worse. And I mean, these fights have been very decisive for the Rune Eaters. 17-8 so far. They should be able to get this Lord for free. And I hope they really take advantage of this Lord. I'm really looking for them to actually open up a crater in the inhibitor. Once they open up an inhibitor, then they can start playing the macro. And then we'll really see what the high heights of the Rune Eaters truly are macro-wise.
Honestly, like, they have no reason why they couldn't end this, because there's not a lot of wave clear, and then K gets knocked up, triple sweep, gets the kill there, and then even Ox gets traded as well. Yeah, they have no excuse. They really should end this. They have the Melissa, they have the Selena. There's no way. Oh, no, even getting one. Boom, gets him. And now Riz4T deals free damage onto Zexora. And now they're getting this mid. This should be GG's, Gideon.
Yeah, this should be GG's, but first they got to get rid of the whole the holy shielding. That's gone. And now they still have a full healthy Lord as they kill Makey, and now looking for the endgame scenario.
Yep, and now look at this. The glue tries to stop them, able to get on top of someone. No, not really. Riz4T using the go away, able to stop in his tracks, and now K, half HP, tries to go in. Looks like it's taken down at 11 minutes. Rune Eaters, 24 kills to 9. Defeated the Mongols.
What did I say? 7K and the game's done, and that's exactly how they close things out. The crazy amount of kills. These guys are absolute hunters, and not to mention this Selena able to put in some good work. What an incredible snowball, an incredible showing from the Rune Eaters. I hope to see a little bit more of them. Like, can they play regular? Is this the only way that they play? Really fast, really hard?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, the Mongols aren't pushovers. They're pretty strong.
They are.
They just made them look like whatever.
Which makes you wonder, are there more hidden regions that haven't earned themselves an MPL or MCT? I can't wait. And hopefully they develop even more. Take the hugs in right now, because every single one of these wins is an increase in the prize pool for them. And for a region that doesn't have as many tournaments, I would only imagine that this could be some life-changing money, or to show that everybody, this is a real job.
It is a real job. Sometimes it feels unreal. But that's it. We just finished all of our series for today. We have more for tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll see the updates on the brackets and everything, just to see who will be playing tomorrow, because I feel like tomorrow we're just gonna be watching the the lower bracket games.
Yeah, well, we'll see what exactly the schedule is going to be, but there's just a lot of like awkward moments here in the early game, like a huge mistake, especially for Zexora, for using the traceless before the Detna's welcome was gonna spit his friend back at him. He could have easily dodged that, no problem. But it's those moments that create the snowball necessary for Rune Eaters to start walking into enemy territory. And I thought maybe this entire team is dependent on the king himself and of course Ulven, but everybody else is playing really well. Like, I gotta give it to the EXP laner, Zuki here, doing a great job finding priority targets, and honestly, he is dying for a good cause.
Full respects to the Mongols. They're our personal friends, but dude, Rune Eaters, they are at a different level here. I'm surprised. Now I want to see them going up against, like, I don't want to say this, but like higher echelon teams, just to see like how they really scale up. I'm gonna see here. They will. Ooh, Oh, okay. Well, I will get my answer. They'll be going up against Red Giants.
Woo, that's going to be a fun one because if we're talking about mechanical teams, SRG, they like to flex it a lot. And I think Rune Eaters are more than happy to actually test their mettle against them compared to a more macro-centric team. And I mean, this guy, give it up. That's some personality. He's got the switch. Oh my goodness, he's got the freaking butterfly knife hairpin. Oh, give it to him. Give it to him. Daizuki.
That's Zuki.
Zuki,
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. EXP laners from this region are great.
Actually, I feel like EXP leaders internationally, like they have the personality, man.
That's what we've been missing.
Everyone else is kind of like, you know.
Well, that's because most of them are scared. And once you kind of let those rules go, they show you how to have a good time. Man, I got to pull back. I got to see what he wrote on that piece of paper. I need to know now.
Yeah, I actually think that he was using like a pen. He should be using something like a marker so that it actually pops out on camera. Well, I mean, like, he might even put in a language that we don't understand.
Actually, that's a good point. I failed to forget that maybe it wasn't exactly in the language we could read anyways. But either way, give it up for the MVP here. It's going to be Tashtik here. So good on the follow-ups. Like, I don't think he really missed the beat from the Detna's welcomes, and especially when you're working with Zuki, who's already catching some primary targets. The fact that Tashki is not only chaining the CC, but reaching further and beyond to get people like Zixora, making sure that even Mumu can't really play the game at all.
Yeah, I gotta say, I feel like I'm gonna use more of Pull Yourself Together in most of my Flicker dependent roamers, because hey, he makes it look pretty good. And at this point, I guess I don't really need tenacity. I just need to set for my team.
Yeah, you just need to set for your team and then start a snowball right from the very first fight. That's generally how it goes. But now we look at our category here. The day is done. We've had Falcons already taking their win. Free buy here. Yangfeng Yaoguai 2-1 against Entity 7. BTR actually 2-1 against Vamos. Foot taking a 2-0 against the Bushido Wildcats. On the opposite end, SRG takeout Aurora 2-0. MongolZ 2-0 against RE. And then even Onyx versus Pro 2-0 GKA7 2-0 sweeps.
Wait, stop. RE is 2-0 on MongolZ. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about that. Everybody knows.
Yeah,
everybody knows.
You guys know the numbers are difficult, Gideon. I figured it out in primary school.
Yeah, and don't worry. I'm sure it will get corrected in just a bit. But overall, it's been a great set of games, and I think that now, you know, Rune Eaters have put themselves in a pretty good position against the MongolZ. They've already shown that they can beat them. Now I want to see them if they can take down SRG after the showing. And honestly, if they can beat SRG at a mechanical game, even more impressive.
Yeah, those are the games for today, and I gotta say, most of the games really were more mechanical than macro. Even Aurora going up against SRG was all about flexing their muscles, so I don't see that change for tomorrow. I think the only one that's like more macro was Vamos against Vitality, and that's not the one that we watch. And a lot of the conversation was on Nako not performing that well. Hopefully for tomorrow, they get to perform because they are at the lower bracket. And lower bracket, once you lose, you're out of the competition. Only 3 teams gets to make it out of groups.
Yep, the truth is...
3 teams from each group, yeah.
Yeah, and the truth is, you know, once you get into that second life, the pressure is on you. Everybody's going to be waiting for the moment where you see to rise above the rest. That being said, though, thank you so much for everybody who's tuned in all the way to the very end. This is, of course, the Digital Games of the Future 2026 Mobile MOBA category for MLBB. My name is Gideon Q, and of course, LaFell is my co-caster, signing off for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.